welcome back to Fit for Life. Happy New Year. Hope you guys all had a great holiday season. Let's get up and get moving. Today we need a TheraBand, and I'm also going to briefly use my water bottle for one exercise. So let's get started with our warm-up. Nice march on the spot. Get everything warmed up. So like I said, welcome to Fit for Life. My name is Anna. I'm a kinesiologist, exercise specialist here in Westlock for the Aspen Primary Care Network. We used to do this class in person here at the Spirit Center, but while we can't get together in person, and who knows how long it's going to be until we do get together in person, we're going to do our best to stay moving and feeling our best in the safety of our own homes. So keep in mind while we're doing our exercises today that you're doing so at your own risk. Please pay attention to your own body. If something's not quite working, take a break, wait until the next exercise. Remember that the Aspen Primary Care Network is not liable for any type of injuries or damages that can be incurred from participation in this video. So exercise at your own risk. Nice warm up here. Getting the blood flowing. Good job. Let's switch to our polka. Nice and light on the toes. Feeling like our breath is starting to get a little faster. Joints are getting lubricated. Feeling a little bit of that warmth. Feels good to move. And let's do some hip swings. I like to hold on to something while I'm doing this. Be careful that you're not kicking anything in your house there. Good job swinging through that hip. And the other one. One might feel a little tighter than the other. That's always this guy for me. Right. And let's do our shoulder circles. Starting small, getting bigger and bigger. Nice and loose through the shoulders. Getting smaller. And then changing direction. Okay. Getting smaller again. Feeling nice and warmed up through your upper body. Give your shoulders a bit of a wiggle, and then I want you to squeeze those shoulder blades back and down along your spine. Let's do that a couple times. Wiggle, squeezing back and down. Wiggle, squeezing back and down. Good job. So the first exercise that we're going to do today is a little bit different, and modify it as you need to because it does require some balance, and it's called a curtsy lunge. So what we're going to do, and I like to have my chair close by here, but we're going to stand nice and straight, and then we're going to bring a leg back and down, okay? So like that. It's a little curtsy lunge. You can do this having a countertop in front of you as well, or the chair in front of you. Down. You don't have to go down quite so far if you're not comfortable doing so. Just do a bit of a step back and a bit down. That's okay. All right? Notice how that front knee is still in a really nice position. It's not going over top of my toes. All right? Nice curtsy lunge here. See if you can do it without any balance if you can. All right? And bringing that back knee down. A little bit of a different one. Remember, these lunges do get better the more we practice. Can't go down that far. Just take that step back, come on down, drop that knee a little bit, come on back. That's okay. Sink down, come on up. Sink down, come on up. This is feeling really easy for you. Try it with no hands. Oh, I'm running into my chair here. Try it with no hands. Try it holding onto a couple weights. That's okay. All right. Good job. All right. Let's come in next. Side leg raise. Got my little cheat sheet here, which I hope matches up with my board. So standing nice and tall, nice and straight. Gonna bring that leg out to the side. Pause. Come on back in. All right. Remember to pause at the top. And remember not to teapot like that, okay? We're just coming out. Come on back in. Keep the toes pointing forward. We're not letting those toes point out to the side. And make sure that your hips are straight and that you're not sticking your butt out. All right, we're not doing that. We're staying nice and tall. Slowly back in. This is feeling really easy. You can add the band to it if you want. Looping that band around your foot. Pause at the top. Slowly back down. If you're just standing there swinging your leg, you're not getting the same benefits. Okay? Control of those hip stabilizers. Pause. Slowly come back. Feel how this hip is having to hold the balance now too. Okay? Remember to pause. Coming on back slow. Really working on stabilizing the hips, because if you can stabilize the hips, strengthen the glutes, really make this girdle strong, it really helps with back pain, with knee pain, with all kinds of common issues. All right, good job. Next, we're going to do a standing hamstring curl. Now for this one, you can add the band if you want to. So if you're adding the band, I just stand on two of the ends, make a little loop, put my foot through there. But you don't have to do this with the band. The most important thing is that my knees kind of stay glued together. And I'm curling that heel towards the bum. Don't bring that knee forward like that. You're going to be tempted to do this movement. We don't want that. I want to bring the heel towards the bum, really targeting the hamstrings, the back of the thigh there. Slowly down. I was a little quick on that one. And like I said, you can do this with no band. A lot of people aren't used to targeting the hamstring, and just focusing on getting a real squeeze is enough to really activate those hamstrings. Okay, let's do the other side. Try looping here again. And it depends a little on what color of band you have at home too. Keeping those knees together. Curling that heel towards the bum. Slowly coming back down. Right. Hamstrings are often quite neglected and quite weak. And it's really amazing at how they help when you have something like chronic knee pain, chronic low back pain, all kinds of problems. Strengthening the hamstrings and the glutes. Very often neglected, but very beneficial. Okay, you can try it without the band too. Like I said, be careful with this one. Those hamstrings, because they are weak and quite often they're still tight, they are prone to cramping up as well. So be careful with this. If you feel a cramp coming on, just slow down and wait till the next exercise. Good job. All right. Last on the list here for our leg stuff and standing. Anyways, we're going to do some sumo squats. So I want you to have your chair because I still want you to think about aiming for the chair with your seat. Just because our form tends to be a lot better. So I kind of still like to get ready in my chair spot. Feet a little wider than hip width apart, but then we're going to turn this, instead of a regular chair squat, we're going to turn this into a sumo squat. So what happens is I'm going to do a big step out to the side and then coming on down to just touch and then coming up, coming back. Now I'm stepping to the other side, squat down and coming back. Big step and coming back. Still really aiming with my push for the chair because I still want to have that good form, but we can see got that big step. Ooh, that's a lunge to the camera there. Big step, still aiming my knees. See how my knees are still in a really nice spot here. I'm not up here where that hurts my knees, okay? So thinking still about aiming with your butt, all right? Big step and coming back. Big step, come on back. Good job. All right, big leg muscles, working some of the muscles in the hips here too. Okay, and let's do one more here. Good job. Okay, so next what we're going to do, I have on here, we're going to do a seated knee extension, but we're going to squeeze something while we're doing it. So I'm going to hold on to my water bottle, but really you can use anything that you have on hand in the house. If you have a throw pillow, if you have a scarf or a sweater, really anything that you can hold on to with your feet, all right? So my water bottle weighs about 2 pounds. It's pretty full here. So that's going to be something nice to use. You can use a water bottle if you want. Use a weight if you want. A ball, anything like that. Anything that you can hold with your feet, though. It doesn't have to have weight. I'm sitting all the way back in my seat here. Give you guys a side view. All the way back in my seat. Holding on to something with my feet and squeezing it a little bit with my feet. I'm going to extend. It's a bit of a terminal knee extension with a bit of adduction. And I'm squeezing that item a little bit with my feet. All right. Squeeze while you extend. So this is a small little exercise, but it is very effective in targeting this inner knee extensor, known as vastus medialis oblique. We get some really good firing of that going on while we're doing this. Good job. We should start to feel that burn a little bit in through the extensors. Right there. Knee extension. All right, great job. Take a drink of your water bottle because it's good for you. We're going to do a bit of a shoulder press. So grabbing my band, now I'm going to hold the band nice and close to my torso. Arm starts in this shoulder press position, so kind of nicely by my shoulder, and I'm just going to do a nice punch up in the air here to make sure that I'm not letting this shoulder crunch up to my ear. All right, see how I'm still really focusing on good shoulder posture. There. Okay. First few should feel pretty easy. Last few should start to feel a little harder. If you struggle with your shoulders, if you have shoulder problems, issues with the rotator cuff, maybe don't go above the head like that. Maybe you can just do a punch out, all right? And that's okay too. Those overhead ones that can cause issues very quickly. Let's do the other side. I hold it nice to my torso, starting nice at the shoulder, coming on up. Slowly back down, releasing gently. Feeling good. There, making sure that my posture is still in check. Slowly release. Good job. All right, let's do a couple more. Remembering with our resistance exercises, our intensity should be so that the first few repetitions feel pretty easy, and by the last few reps, we're starting to feel some fatigue, some warmth in that muscle. Okay, let's do our regular upper body strengthening here, starting out with our seated row. I put that band around my feet and put my heels on the floor. Give you guys a side view here. And I'm just going to row my boat straight on back to my chest. Okay, nice, good posture. Those shoulder blades are squeezing together. Really thinking of this as a back exercise. A lot of people think about this in relation to the arms, but what we're really targeting here is the back, particularly those muscles between the shoulder blades. So squeeze those shoulder blades together. Make sure you're not crunching those shoulders up. We're not hiking up our panties here. We are rowing our boat nicely back. Wonderful. Okay. Do a couple more. Slow and controlled. And last one. Good job. Opposite of that is our chest press. So I take the band, whip it behind my back this time. I like to have it under my arms. We're going to start off at the chest, the armpits here, and we're going to push straight out, slowly back. All right, seeing how my posture is still very focused here, very engaged, and I'm traveling in a straight line from the armpits here, as good as I can, and slowly returning back. So things that I quite often see here is people are rounded forward through their back. They're kind of like this, and they're pushing with their arms, or quite often they bow out. Really think about those shoulders coming back and down your spine still, and we're going to travel straight out here, slowly back. Okay, wonderful. Remembering too with our band, it's always slow and controlled, especially on that release. If you're just bouncing back and forth here, playing with a rubber band, you're not getting the same strength benefits as when we really slow it down. Okay, bicep curls. It's time to put that band right underneath my feet. Going to, again, still sitting nice and tall. This time I'm going to keep my elbows tucked in nicely towards me, and I'm going to just curl at the elbow there. Always thinking about good posture and slow and controlled. I'm going to give you guys a side view here. elbows in place against the body. I see a lot of people bring the elbows forward as they kind of hoist, right? We're not doing that. We're going to, again, posture first. Check those shoulders. Tuck the elbows. Slow and controlled. Try doing a pause at the top and then slowly back down. Okay? Really thinking about good form here. My palms sort of turn slightly to face me. Here, tiny bit of rotation in through the arm there. Good job. All right. Some tricep extensions. So with this one, we're holding the band in one hand. We're bringing it across to the opposite shoulder. You're going to take the tail nice and high, one of your bands there, and we're going to slowly extend down. Again, same thing, really thinking about that elbow, staying nice and tucked. The shoulder is not drifting up to the ear as we're pressing down. We've got good posture here. And this is pure elbow extension. Nice tricep extension here as we push down. Good job. Slow and controlled. You might feel a little shaky on the release. A couple more. And then switch to the other side. All right, so holding the band now in your other hand. Bringing it to the shoulder, your opposite shoulder, holding nice and high, tucking the elbow in, and extend down. All right, a lot of people put the band around the top of a door or something like that, and that way they can do both arms at the same time. If you want, you can do that. There's a few different versions of this tricep extension. This is just the one that I tend to go to first. It's simple and it's easy and I don't have to go anywhere. So that's kind of why I like it. And it's effective, which is important too. Okay, safe position too if you have suffered from any type of shoulder injuries. There's some extensions that people do above the head. That you may have seen versions of, kind of like that. But again, if you've had any type of shoulder injuries, we always want to be really careful with that overhead work. So lots of different ways to do the same type of exercise, and on your own, you can play around with that stuff too. So we're going to do our core exercises. So today we're going to do what's called, I call it a crossbody biker. I'm sure it's called many different things. What we want to do though is make sure we're very nice and engaged in through the core. We're going to sit nice and tall. I like to have my hands folded across my chest, semi-reclined. If you want to make this a little easier, just scooch a little bit further back. It's going to be a little harder if you scooch further forward, or you can even do this on the floor. So arms across the chest. I'm going to put my heels on the floor, feet straight out in front of me, and I'm going to bring that knee up, twist, try and do that elbow to the knee without letting my shoulders go here. You can see where I kind of reach with my shoulders there. I want it to be a twist through the torso. So twist, pause, coming on back. Twist, pause. All right. I like to place my heel on the floor because I feel like I can protect my back and do a better job with my semi-recline there, because I would rather do that than try and do this and start to collapse in through my back, okay, and do all of this wonky twisting stuff. That's going to hurt my low back. So rather than doing that, I'm going to simplify things a little bit. I'm going to keep my heel on the floor. I'm going to really focus on being upright, getting a good twist through the torso, and coming across nice and slow and controlled, working those obliques. We're remembering to breathe while we do this. Slow it on down. If you start to feel like you're straining in your back, maybe sit up a little bit more or scooch back in your chair a little bit more. Feeling this in through the core. Couple more. Whew. I'm gonna do it right. Let's do a few more here. Nice twist, nice and slow. I really like to do that pause so I'm not rushing through the exercise, because when we start to rush, we start to see our form go. Okay, good. Twisting in through the core. All right, see how I'm still very straight in through my shoulders. That twist is coming from down here, not from up here. Okay? Awesome. Good. Let's do some balance exercises. So I like to still have my chair close by, because number one rule is that nobody falls. So let's check in with our balance. It's been a couple weeks since we've done this. So, or maybe you've been practicing on your own, which is good too. So checking in with our tandem stand, seeing how you feel. Do you need the chair for help here? If you are using a support, maybe try and see if you can do less and less fingers on that support, or can you do this with no hands? How are you with transferring your weight a little bit there? Feels okay. Okay, let's do the other side. Lining up heel to toe with our tandem stand, seeing how you feel in through the hips. See how you feel with the weight transfer. Okay, we're gonna come into our one leg stand. Now, if you are happier staying in the tandem, that's absolutely fine. You can keep practicing in through the tandem. If you're comfortable coming onto one leg here, and I want you to think about being grounded through all four corners of your feet, checking your hips and checking your legs, making sure that you're not sagging in through this hip. You're activated through the hips. Okay, soft through this swinging leg, and I want you to soften this standing leg. We're going to do a 3-point touch today, which means I'm going to think of 3 different spots on the floor that I'm just going to touch with my toe, coming back up. If you need your chair by, have that, that's okay. I'm thinking of coming down in this leg to just touch, coming on up. Buckled a little bit on that one. You can feel my foot having to do some work here. Soft through this knee and see how far I can reach back to just touch and coming on back. All right, try it with the other leg. I'm coming down a little bit with this standing leg. So again, make sure you're grounded through the foot, soft through both legs. Your thighs aren't squeezing together here, and making sure that you're activated through the hips and you're not sagging, okay? So seeing if you can reach, how far forward you can reach with that toe to just touch. Slowly come on back up. Try not to jack in the box back up. See how far you can reach out to the side. Slowly. And try and slow down. Hard for me too. And then the back. Slowly touch. So I'm not putting my foot down. I'm just making contact with the floor. Okay? That's a really good one to practice on your own, because we have a lot of balance going on, obviously, but too a lot of strength in through getting that bit of a one-leg squat in there. So that's a really good one. Let's stretch out our calves before we sit down. So bringing that heel back behind you, trying to keep it on the floor as good as you can, really pressing that heel back as forward. Nice lunge here. Feeling that stretch in the back of the calf. Other side. Most of us are pretty tight in through the calves. I find that wearing the big heavy winter boots in the winter, sometimes I start to really feel it in through that Achilles tendon. So doing these calf stretches is very helpful for that. Nice stretch in through the back of the leg. Okay, we're never bouncing stretches. I'm never going to have you guys bouncing to anything. It's not always very safe to do, so make sure you don't bounce your stretches. Good. Let's sit down and stretch out our neck. So first one we're going to do is the upper trapezius. We're going to place that hand behind your back if you can. If you're not comfortable getting into this behind the back position, just have your hand down along the side of the chair. Put my hand back there. We're going to bring that ear to the shoulder and just gently guide with the head. I have been really tight in through here, a very common place to have a lot of tension, a lot of trigger points going on. Okay, remembering to breathe while you stretch. Slow and controlled, other side. Thinking about just going to where you feel that initial, just some gentle tension. We're not pulling too hard. We're not forcing any more distance than that muscle wants to give us. Just very gentle, long hold. We tend to go through these a little bit faster in class, but when you're at home, you can think about doing your stretches about 20 to 30 second hold, 2 to 3 times on each side. So if you have an area that you feel really needs it, follow those guidelines, and you can do that every day. They're always good for you. Okay. We're going to stretch that smaller muscle that lies underneath the upper trap. It's called levator scapula. So instead of putting the hand behind our back now, we're going to place that hand on the shoulder. It doesn't have to be cranked up, but just placing the hand on the shoulder is good. Turning the nose away from that side, tucking down towards the armpit, and then I like to guide. I just kind of tip my head, the back of my head down a little bit, give the nose a bit of a wiggle there. See where you feel it the most. That feels really good. This muscle is very commonly tight as well and often responsible for a lot of tension headaches. So something to think about if you get those. Other side, hand on the shoulder. Rotate the nose away, tucking down into the armpit. Really feeling that in through the back slash side of the neck. There. Okay, other side. Hand on the shoulder, rotate away, tucking on down. If you're feeling like you have pain on the other side of your neck, the side that you're turning towards, just back off a little bit. You can just do that upper trap stretch again too if this is not working out for you. Hand on the shoulder, rotate away, tucking on down. And I just tip it down a bit more. Making sure you're breathing. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do a bit of our twist here. Nice rotation. We're twisting from our seat all the way to our crown. I like to involve the chest a little bit here as I reach for the back of the chair with my hand, kind of pulling that chest open a little bit. Nice twist, both sides, a couple times. Really thinking about getting some good gentle movement here. Great. Okay, we're We're going to stretch the front of our hips today, so doing that modified lunge. So I come all the way to the side of the chair, so my one cheek and leg is off of the chair. Of course, don't fall off of your chair. I'm going to bring this leg behind me as far as I can and really pressing that heel back to create some distance. I'll show you guys the side version here. So I'm supported still on the chair entirely. This is a modified lunge. Bringing this leg back, pressing that heel back, creating space, and really feeling this in through the front of the hip right here, sometimes down into the quad. Okay? Feels good. Other side. You guys can try here, nice and supported with this leg, and really pressing back with that heel, thinking about lots of space there. And if you feel this in your low back, you're kind of prone to almost start arching there. Try and keep your tailbone tucked under you a little bit. That can help. And you can give yourself a bit of a lean forward if you need to here. All right, but feeling a good stretch in through the front of this hip. Other side. Pressing back. Think about keeping that tailbone tucked under you. All right, but pressing that leg back. There's a lot to think about there, but we're going for that stretch in the front of the leg here and for not having pain in your back. Okay. And on the other side, pressing back, tuck that tailbone to protect your back, really reaching this leg, feeling a good stretch right in there. Okay. All right, let's do our hamstrings to finish off here. Plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting nice and tall, and hinging forward slightly at the hip. All right, we're not thinking about reaching for our toes here, because look at how much my back is curling there. I'm totally losing the stretch in through the back of the leg. So plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting tall, and just hinging forward slightly here. Much more effective, way better quality of a stretch than if all I'm focusing on is touching my toes. Okay? Other side, plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting tall, hinging forward. I'm not pressing this leg down. Sorry, you guys can't really see that very well. I'm not pressing this knee down or anything like that. Just very nice and relaxed. Very, very tall in through my torso. Don't let yourself slump, okay? Plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting tall. For some people, that sitting tall is all it takes. That's as far as you can go. That's okay. If you can, hinge forward a little bit. But if that's too much, if you're feeling too much pulling, stretching, burning, tearing, something like that, please back off. Just sit up tall. That's okay. All right. Last one. Plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting tall, hinging forward at the hip. Great job. Keeping that toe engaged and pulling towards you. Wonderful. Well, as before, I'm going to try my best to keep new videos coming and posted at 1 o'clock every Tuesday and Thursday. Once the videos are up, they're up, so you can watch them at your own convenience, whatever time you want. You can re-watch other ones. If you want to work out more during the week, that's fine. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please feel free to contact us. The best is probably here at the office, but if you need to send us a message on here or leave a comment or send your carrier pigeons, we'll figure out a way there too. So I hope you guys are keeping well, and until next time, stay safe, healthy. Thanks for joining us.